We're standing here outside Newry Crown Court just waiting for these gates to open and a prison van to emerge, bringing to an end 4 decades of a glittering political career. One of the best known politicians in Northern Ireland, the man who formerly led the biggest party in unionism here in Northern Ireland. He has been found guilty of no fewer than 18 historical sex crimes carried out in relation to 2 women who were just children at the time that these offences took place between 1985 and 2008. Those offences included 1 count of rape and other charges of gross indecency and sexual assault. His wife, Eleanor Donaldson, who was not present here at the court today, she has been deemed unwell or unfit to face a conventional trial due to her mental health. So she faced what's known in legal terms as a trial of the facts, and the jury at the end of that process found that Eleanor Donaldson had aided and abetted her husband's string of sexual offences. But because that's a trial of the facts rather than a full conventional trial, she will be left without a criminal conviction. During the trial of the last few weeks here in Newry, some harrowing evidence was presented to the jury by the 2 women, one of whom said that, again, as a child, Jeffrey Donaldson had forced his tongue into her mouth, had felt her breasts and had kissed her. The court also heard that years later, Jeffrey Donaldson wrote that woman a letter in which he said that he was in a pit of sin and had admitted causing deep wounds to that woman. The other woman in this case, the other complainant, told the court that Jeffrey Donaldson had raped her and had subjected her as well to sexual assault. During the trial here at Newry, Jeffrey Donaldson at all times had strenuously denied those claims and had told counsel that the 2 women were lying, and for what reason he told the court he did not know. In the end, today, the jury clearly believed the accounts of those 2 women, guilty on all 18 charges, including rape. The judge indicated to the court at the end of that process that Jeffrey Donaldson would now likely be facing a lengthy custodial sentence and would be placed on the sex offenders register. And as I said, we're expecting him now to be taken away from Newry Court pretty soon in a prison van from these gates here. The sentencing matter won't be addressed until the end of the summer. It'll be mid-September before we get any kind of an indication as to what sort of sentence Jeffrey Donaldson may face. But it is hard really to understate the impact that this has in Northern Ireland, in politics and in wider society. When he was arrested just over 2 years ago on these charges, he was a man really at the peak of his political career, a leader of unionism. He had only just led the DUP, the largest unionist party here in Northern Ireland, back into a restored Stormont to wide acclaim. He had spent years at the forefront of the post-Brexit negotiations. When he spoke, people listened. He was one of the 10 DUP MPs in Westminster that were so crucial to propping up Theresa May's government. He had the ears of people right around the world. He was knighted, of course, by the Queen a decade ago. All of that came crashing down in March 2024 when these 2 women finally made their complaints to police, and he swiftly resigned his position as leader of the DUP and then did not contest the following general election that year. His personal reputation, his political legacy has been utterly shredded here at Newry Crown Court today, and we now await his removal to prison. And then, as I said, much later on we will find out what sort of sentence Jeffrey Donaldson, one of the best known politicians here in Northern Ireland in recent decades, is likely to face.